Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It's been a while, but I'm finally coming back to work on the Whizzer. It's been a couple weeks of me not being able to work on it, and it looks like it's changed a little bit. I tried getting some parts ready just for the video, like the belts. So I took the wheel off like the next day. I tried to get a jerry can out from there, fell backwards, and bike fell on its side, so the wheel came out. That was one thing. I had a little ordeal getting the belts. Couldn't find one that was large enough. Ordered one. They messed up. It was 20 inches large, so I ended up finding one from Canadian Tire. So that's there. Tried to get some parts ready for the clutch. I was going to use that, but the seal failed when it was spinning at 1,000 RPM. So I got sprayed with grease. And I think I finally have a game plan with the resources I have. So what I want to do in this video is I want to get my clutch fully made and functional. And I also want to get the wheel back on to the bike with the final drive belt. I need a pulley on there too. So I'm gonna start by trying to put on the pulleys that I got the other day and see if those actually fit or not. It's been a few minutes and I tried out the pulleys. You can see I got the wheel back on too. This pulley fits without flaw, which I'm not surprised because I compared it with this. I couldn't use this one just because of the set screws. I don't know if you can see them in there. They're completely rusted to the pulley. So that's new. It's the same size, it's the same thing. Just now aluminum. And didn't realize this has no set screw. So I now have the exact opposite problem. That one couldn't get the set screws out. That one, there's no set screw to go in. So I'll have to go to town and get another one, or get some set screws. Had more issues with this. I'm not quite sure what to do. Because I could probably make this work if it was flat. But the problem is, it's concave. As a result, if I can't make it go on fully, because it rubs right here and probably everywhere else. Which is kind of annoying, and I can't have it like this. Because then the belt is it's trying to bend from here over to here. Which is the problem. I'm trying to avoid that because that's how it used to be. And there was so much friction that if I went through a puddle sometimes after heavy driving, you could literally see steam coming off the belt just because it was so hot. It would burn you if you touched it. It was bad. So I'm trying to actually make it straight like this. But I can't have that because this is too long. Because I can even still put my finger in. So I'm not quite sure what to do. I think I'm going to have to go find another pulley that is a little more flush. It wouldn't even be so bad if it was made of metal and not aluminum, because I could weld it to this. This is what's originally supposed to go on there. So if it was just something made of steel, I could just cut the bits off and just have it welded straight to the end of this. Then I could trim that back and just have the same lock washer on it. So that's the problem I'm dealing with. I guess I'm going to make a quick trip to town and see if there are any other options available. So I'll be back when I find some or don't. It is now a few days later. Salty is trying to inch up into the garage. And I am sick, which is unfortunate. I got to the store trying to remember what I did a few days ago. Got to the store. I got this pulley instead, which is smaller. Can't fit my finger through it, nor can I actually, like, slot it on. Just because it's smaller. So, what I'm planning to do is, because that's smaller, I want to drill that out slightly. I want to be just big enough of a hole where I can press fit it on. Because if I can do that, then it'll kind of hold itself in place, which will be all good. And just to add some security to that hole in the center there, that little divot, I want to drill that out and tap it so I can put a bolt in there. Just so that I can have that, I can have the pulley on there, have that on, and then have a bolt with probably just a bar going across a little cut in here to make sure it doesn't, like, move. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't think it'll be that hard. I've never really done anything like that before, though, so I've never had that good of a luck drilling out pulleys. Because I don't even know if I have... I don't even think I want to touch the drill bits anymore. A little bit of a spider problem. But that's fine. At least I have some sort of a plan. And I think I'm going to actually get started by putting the wheel back on, because I came back in the other day. And I was just over walking by the Dats, and I thought, man, it feels empty in here. Yeah, it's because the Whizzer was flat out on the ground there. It just, like, tipped over some point through the night, and I just never noticed. So, I'd like to get the jack stand back on, so at least it's steady, because... yeah, there goes my one block of wood that held on that side. So, I'm gonna get the wheel back on and see what I can do about that hole there. A little salty. What are you doing? What are you doing? Being cute, Salt. Where are you going? It is a few days later. The wheel is on. That's about it. Somehow when I was putting the wheel back on, the bolt that runs through the entire wheel, like the axle, I guess you'd call it, that somehow came out of adjustment by 1/2 inch. To me, it doesn't make sense on how it happened, because it came out perfectly fine, and without being touched, it moved 1/2 inch, so no idea what happened there. That took over an hour to fix, because I had to undo everything to adjust it. And I just got it fully hooked up, like, I think yesterday. So that's done. And I started going ahead working on the transmission output here. I decided to do what I thought was the easiest thing, which was drill out this hole here. You can see I just witness marks in there. So now, it kind of goes on. Like, it actually sticks in somewhat. Because it's now the proper size where if I go ahead with a hammer, I can hammer that on and it should, like, forcibly go on there and make little splines. So that's what I'm going to do for that. I I gotta do that, and I still have to go ahead and drill out a hole for that bolt, which is actually gonna be my first time drilling and tapping a hole. So I'm kind of excited for that. And other than that, I don't think there's much else. I was trying to figure out last night what to do for a tensioner on this, because it's gonna have to be like up here, something like that. So I gotta figure out something. I might even just use like what's left of that bolt hole. I don't know. Be easier to figure out something once the pulley's on. So I'm going to go ahead and start trying to get that stuff all done. It is 9 days later. I haven't made much progress. I did get the pulley on. That's the most noticeable thing. So now, let me zoom out. If I turn over the engine, and there's some tension on the belt, which there's not right now, it was turning the wheel yesterday, but I have to hold that up because I need a tensioner. And I have changed some plans as to what I'm going to do to reinforce this. Instead of drilling, tapping, having this whole complex system, I'm just going to take this bolt and weld it straight to the end of the shaft. That's all I'm going to do, because that'll just keep it from backing off. I trust the splines in that enough. So that should probably hold. The tensioner, I want to use a flat bar steel, kind of like that. I'm probably just going to loop the bottom of it just so it like kind of grabs on there, and I'm going to weld it. And then I can just have like a fixed point for this to sit on. Because I don't need to be crazy tight. I just need to be tighter than that. So that's not very hard to do. And I've been thinking of ways to make the clutch, but I haven't even got to that yet, so I'm not gonna spend too long on that. And I don't know if you heard the thunder or not, but that storm that hit Florida, it is, I think the aftermath is kind of hitting Nova Scotia, because it's been thunder and lightning for like the last 2 hours here. And it was just raining a lot harder because back of the driveway's flooded. So, haven't lost power though, which is nice because we used to lose power if the wind blew or if the sun was out. So, anyway, I'm gonna get working on this because I have a lot of metal work to do and not a lot of time to get it done. So I'm gonna hop into that and hopefully everything goes well. 2 hours later, the storm is over, and I also got both of the things done. Tensioner is the thing I'm most happy with. That was the easiest thing to do. And belt's nice and tight. It doesn't have to be crazy tight just because there's a lot of surface area here. And I also got the bolt welded on, which that was quite the challenge just because couldn't really see while I was welding, and I had to get it somewhat aligned by hand. So attempt number 3, I got it pretty good. And now that's on. So everything here is actually working. So if I turn over the engine by hand, wheel turns. And now this brings me to the final part of the drivetrain, which is I need a clutch because I just have a loose belt here. So I have a little bit of a plan. I'm going to use this bar just because I have it, and I'm going to use, I forgot where I put them. Oh, these. I'm going to use these 2 bearings as the like roller, idler pulley, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to have the bar come right there, then just have them something similar to this, but it'll be able to rotate. That's the best way I can think of describing it. And then I'm gonna have a bar up here, is what I want to do, so that I can have a spring come down and tension the clutch, just so I don't have to have my foot on it the whole time. So it'll actually be a proper clutch, unlike the one I had before where I had to put my foot on it to go, which was easy, but I'd like an actual clutch this time because I have an actual transmission, so I think it'll work better with a normal clutch. So yeah, I'm gonna start figuring out what I need to do. I gotta find the hardware that goes in here. That's probably gonna be the hardest thing. And yeah, that shouldn't take crazy amount of time. Once I get moving, it shouldn't take long. So I'll be back whenever I get something done. It is a few days later. I got the hardware that I needed. A few of these, and I am just showing what I'm doing at the moment. I'm still working on the clutch. Having a bit of clearancing done to it, because if you look at it, it just barely touches that pipe in the middle. Because I've been clearancing it, I clearanced the wrong spot, just like a few degrees off, so I gotta just take that little tip off, and then that'll fit on. And then after that, I have to make a bar that comes across to these two holes here and overhangs a little bit, and then put a spring from the end of the clutch down there, the rod, have a spring go to wherever that bar is, and that'll be my tensioner. So I'm gonna get back to work on that, because hopefully should be able to get the drivetrain done today. And I'm also gonna leave this uncut for right now, just because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with my clutch pedal yet, so I'm just gonna leave this, so whatever I decide to do, I can just cut that off later when I do the controls. So I'll be back when hopefully everything's all together. It is a little while later, and the drivetrain is fully done. I got the little bar made. I have a spring in there. It's under a lot of tension, because this is how you disengage the clutch. Whoops. You pull up, I forgot. You can see it releases the belt slightly. Get a better view from right here. And then the moment there's no force on it, it immediately goes back. I have a leverage bar over here I've been using to help me get it together. Yeah. See what's happening in there? There you go. Pretty tight system. I'm proud of it though, because this is the first time I've ever been able to make something this high tolerance, so happy about that. And now when I just hit the chair. When I turn over the engine by hand, you can see everything turning. Then it turns the wheel. It's in reverse right now, so I'm gonna have to make a lockout for the reverse gear. I think I'm just gonna use the original shifter, just bend it up. But you can see, like, reverse. So that'll be pretty much the last thing I do, is just going to be all the controls. The next thing I want to do, which this video is done here just because I'm done the drivetrain, but next video I'm going to make the intake and exhaust, because I want to make sure I get those, well, just in place, because I know it's going to be easier to work around the intake and exhaust and work the exhaust and intake around my controls. So that's the plan with that. That shouldn't even be that hard. I have carburetor's like half done. I'm gonna have to remake the intake and exhaust, but I'm gonna reuse these flanges. I'm just gonna cut it off here because it would be easier. So I'm gonna end this video off here. I'm happy I managed to get the drivetrain done. It's really coming along. One small issue I noticed, this belt is a little loose, so I might have to improve that tensioner in the future. Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to say. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.